Well, hello folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen here. Ah, yes, Ilus International. And Ilus has just made yet another key acquisition. We're going to have a little update on Ilus. But first, before we get into Ilus, we got to talk about what's going on in the market. As you know, it's been horrible. Last couple of weeks have been really bad, been up and down, but mainly down, as you know. And we know the big causes of that, and I'm going to pull up the picture because it makes it easier for me to talk about it. And it's this little beast right here, inflation, and of course the interest rates and the Rona have just been terrible, and they've kind of caused all kinds of problems. And we know that, Janet Yellen and Chairman Powell, they thought this was transitory, meaning they just thought it was temporary, which is ridiculous. Anybody that's run a business, and I've run businesses for 30 years, I can tell you that when you have wage inflation, when you have energy inflation, and you have shipping costs going through the roof and all kinds of problems with getting labor, you're going to have inflation, and it's not going to be transitory. So I don't know where the crap they came up with that, but it's ridiculous.
And he's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
Okay, he's a little angrier than I am, but as you get the point. So we've got major issues, and they're going to continue to cause problems probably all year long, off and on. But a lot of these stocks have been beaten down, and fortunately for us, Ilus has been hanging in there. So let's get into Ilus. Oh, and very important, if anybody pretends to be me and sends you some crap about WhatsApp, that is not me. They might even throw my picture, which has got like a circle around it instead of the actual picture. It's a little different, and they'll try to pretend, and they do this to all the YouTubers. They did this to me months ago, and I thought I'd had a stop to it, but they did it again. So anything WhatsApp's a bunch of crap. Just ignore it. And we can see here that Ilus acquired Vira Drones, a European manufacturer of obviously unmanned vehicles for rescue and logistics. And this is a company based in Germany, and they've been talking about this for a few months and been working on this deal quite a bit. And it's able to deliver the unmanned capability of light helicopters would replace that. So that would be very useful, obviously, in fighting fires. And you got to realize these things can also rescue human beings off like the top of buildings that are burning, which a lot of times helicopters can't do that. So this would be very useful. Also could take all kinds of firefighting equipment up to those areas, and it can carry a lot of weight and can stay up there for almost 2 hours. So I think this is a very nice addition for Ilus long term. And let's see what JP Backwell and Nick Link think about it. Here it says, JP Backwell said this acquisition has been going on behind the scenes for some time. It's very exciting for the company to have completed. It's one of several exciting deals that we have been working on in line with the technology advancement strategy, which we've been communicating to our shareholders. And then Nick Link said, this is a massive leap forward for Ilus. The valuation of this acquisition is mind-blowing, and it will play an important role in accelerating many of our upcoming plans. We look forward to unveiling our more detailed roadmap for Vira Drones and how it fits into the bigger Ilus picture, along with the similar deals that we will soon announce. So obviously, Ilus continues to do what they say they're going to do. So that's yet another acquisition, one of the possible 10 that they're working on. They've got 2 9-figure deals they're working on, one being the European deal, which will be coming in 2 phases. And they said both phases have been agreed to, and they'll be announcing that at some point. Obviously, they've got to follow certain rules because it isn't a government contract. They've got another 9-figure deal they're working on in the United States, which would be huge. We know they're working on the share reduction to get under 1 billion shares. They're currently at 1.22. They want to uplist to the NASDAQ, and this is huge, within 5 to 8 months, according to JP Backwell and Nick Link, with no reverse split. Again, no reverse split. They're continuing to increase their revenue throughout the year, and I'm sure 2022 will be significant. We know about their water mist technology. They're using that in numerous products. We've discussed that quite a bit, how it uses so much less water to put out the fire and does a lot less damage, saves people money, saves people in damages. It's just a very useful item, and it is patented. And I think water mist, of course, they're going to be using that with lots of products. You saw it with the Mongoose, how that works, and just going to be a great product, and already is. They're also in discussions with Tesla pertaining to using the water mist technology to help put out small compartment fires, which with water mist, that would be ideal. You don't want a lot of water in a situation like that. And that was confirmed by JP Backwell. And last and certainly not least, one of the really smart things that Nick Link, the CEO, did, and I applaud him for this. He came out back in April 5th, and this was a letter to the shareholders. And if you've dealt with preferred shares with any company, they can be difficult. OTC, they can really be difficult. So he got ahead of the game on this. He said, my holding company holds 390 million common shares. So he could get the company under 1 billion shares himself. But also he said all the preferred A, all the preferred D, and all the preferred E, all these preferred shares that the short report was written about. And he said, we have not sold a share and do not have plans to sell any. Rest assured our interests are mutually aligned. So that was really important. And that really helped negate that short report. But it was done months before that report ever came out. And Ilus is looking pretty good. It's sitting at 31 cents. It's up a little bit today. And we've been watching it. I started covering it at 5 cents. And it ran all the way up to 45 and then pulled back down. And it's been sort of hovering in this 30-cent area to 40-cent area. And the buying place has been right below this 27 cents, right in this area. So for all the cheapskates out there in tightwads, which I am one of, this is the buying zone, it appears, and has been for a while that we've discussed. And if this thing gets to the NASDAQ, obviously it's going to have to be at least $2. So know that going into it, and preferably 3 or 4. But 2, it can list at 2. And they're talking 5 to 8 months. It was 6 to 9. I've lowered that since it's been a month. So Ilus is doing pretty good, but I'm telling you, if you're in the market, everybody's down. All the stocks are down. And like I said, if you're in this market right now and covering these stocks, it's rough. It gets real difficult because, like I said, everybody's down. Even the major YouTubers, the biggest meat, you got Meat Kevin and Financial Education Guy and all that, they're all getting beat to death. And it gets rough. Sometimes you got to have a little talk with yourself when you're in the when you're investing in the stock market.
Because I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
That's right. So if you have any trouble, you start getting down on yourself, just look in that mirror and tell you those things, just like Jordan did. And look how good he did. Worked out for him just fine. All right, folks, and that's Ilus today. Just did a little update and go over that key acquisition. I think that's a pretty big deal. And once again, Ilus keeps doing what they say they're going to do, which in this environment, dealing with that Rona is very difficult to deal with. So I'm pretty inspired by their work ethic and the fact they continue to do what they say they're going to do. So that's excellent. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover Ilus. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Give the channel a chance. I'd appreciate it. And I hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.